It's always a pleasure to have you on EBN TV. This is the Spheres of Life. I'm your host, Jeff Kimayu. And as we normally say, as we normally talk about this show, we make sure that we talk every challenge that is a disturbance to your life. And we make sure that you have a solution to everything that you are going through. And now we make sure there is transparency, there is objectivity, there is accountability, and there is sanity in every story that we're making here. And we make sure that you're lifted from every place where you feel you've fallen. And welcome to EBN TV this Friday. And we are sorry that we were not on air last Sunday because of a stream that we had to make. We are so sorry. And any inconvenience caused the Spheres of Life in EBN TV, we are sorry. So welcome back and feel at home.
Good evening, my dear viewer. Hope you're having a nice Sunday from wherever you're watching us from. It is indeed a good evening. My name is CAROLYNE MUTHONI, and welcome to another episode of Spheres of Life, where we had tackled part 1 of Scarred Footprints last Sunday, but last Sunday we didn't make it to air the part 2. But today we have our guest Esther, who is going to share the part 2 of her story, and you don't want to miss it. So if you want to catch up with the first part of the story, you can get it on our YouTube channel at Legend Productions, and on Facebook and Instagram, Jeff SOMBA the Legend. So if you have a question you'd like to ask Esther, you can also send it to those social media platforms. Again, on YouTube, The Legend Productions, and on Facebook and Instagram, Jeff SOMBA the Legend. So grab your favorite snack and keep us company as we continue.
And if you don't have the snack, we can send it to you. So welcome back to EBN TV. Esther, how was your day?
My day has been busy. It has been good. Yeah. I roamed around the city. I had several activities, including a church service. And thank God by His grace I'm here today. At least I've enjoyed the show the past few days. And also today, I hope I'm going to.
Yeah, shall be great. And remember our audience, the show tonight's topic is the Scarred Footprint, part 2 of Esther's story. And I know that you're going to be challenged, and I know that you're still going to grow from the same story, because I know most of the times we may grow in different aspects of life or through different aspects of life. But I know when you hear a story that is challenging, a story that looks like it is enlightening, that is a point of growth, and definitely you grow from there. And before you go very far, because I think when we talk about the spheres of life, we make sure that we talk everything that affects our life. I want to tend that as a country, we are not heading well, because our guests and us also are concerned about our country. We also have to check some of the effects and the issues that we have as far as the leadership and governance is concerned. So Esther, how is, now, according to the stories and the truth that we are having now, as far as impeachment and other stories, Adani, Shah, that is a shift from NHIF, and a lot of issues that are taking place in Kenya. Where do you think we are as a country, and how is the state?
I think as a country we are in a confused mode. Because like the other day we celebrated a day which is
actually it is baptized four or three times.
So if we have the children who are growing up, or the ones who are in class, especially the lower classes, if they are asked which day we celebrated, I think they would also be confused, because a day could not have just 4 names. One day. And if you check also on the status of the health sector, the Shah, She, and all that, personally, I have parents who had the NHIF, and I usually pay for them a whole year. So, and I'm like, now, if they get sick now, in fact, I'm praying that they don't get sick. Because if they get sick now, NHIF is not working. And the SHA we have not been shifted to SHA. So there's that confusion. When you go to hospital, you are told you must pay. Pay it from your pocket. So we are somewhere in a confused mode. And me being in the business sector, I also get to interact with so many people in different sectors. And personally, the area that I'm in transport, I'm telling you, it is total confusion. We don't know where we are heading to. We are in a state whereby no one knows where we are going to end in any direction. Because there is no decision making. There is no decision making, and everybody is crying in their own way. Those who are employed, they have the housing levy, which is being taxed from their pay slips. Houses that they don't know whether they will ever get them. You see, us who are in business, the dollar is fluctuating upside in and after every moment. So the business is really in a quagmire. We don't know the direction to take. Some of the businesses have already been closed. Others are heading to closing. Why? Because in our country there is no direction now. We are at standstill, and it is like we are waiting for one decision maker who will now tell us this is the way to follow. Our MPs are nowhere to be found. We used to interact with them. I don't know, maybe whether after the Gen Z, whatever demonstration, they feared and they went on hiding. The governors, we used to have meetings with them. Personally, I've interacted up to the CS. I've had meetings with several CSS, MPs, MCS. I've interacted with them. But today, as at now, we are talking, you can never get them.
No, it's okay, but I think it is like a way of once you reward something or even give someone what they wanted, or if it's like they borrow. Once you borrow something, you get lost. Like once we fought for them, they get lost.
Exactly.
Now, before we get to your story, because I said these are some of the sensitive things that our issues as a country, as a nation, that we have to address before we get to other stories, because as a nation, I think we are diving not interestingly or willingly, but I think we are forced to dive into depths that we are not supposed to be at.
Exactly.
Now, before we get to the story, now, I want you to, within a second, just under the issue of our leaders and the force that we give to them, and whether if they come back to us, we shall give the force back to them again.
Definitely now, as at now, the leaders, the MCS, the governors, the MPs, and those who are in leadership in Kenya now, if we vote today, none will get back. None will get back. Because as I'm talking as a Kenyan, majority of them, or none of them, we have seen what they have done. In the previous years, we have seen MCAs come, interact with people, have projects of water projects, classes being built and all that. But as at now, none of the MPs will ever, or any of the leaders will ever come back if we vote today. Look at the status we are in. Even we don't have the IBC. So where are we? A great God. We need a great God. But I think because this was our choice as Kenyans, these people were not put in leadership by anybody else. It is us through our vote. So it is us now to go back to God, tell God, huku kimeumana, sasa saizi Mungu tupange tena. Because we have done the wrong way, we have done it the wrong way, we voted it the wrong way, because this is not the kind of leadership that God had ordained for Kenyans. Everybody from day one is crying. That is not the leadership we need. So I want to address our leaders. It doesn't matter whichever level they are in. Can they try at their level best to reach the people who elected them in their own wisdom? Because as at now, Kenyans are crying because they gave them the position, but they are not working for them.
Okay, that's great. I think this is a big story, and because that was an opener to our our main topic for tonight, we won't delve so much into that because so that we have a meaning of what we wanted to do here. But I think we have to enter this issue of leadership too far, because sometimes if we sleep, as we slept when we were voting, I think now we fall asleep all through, and we found that Kenya is a country and is a big nation, and I know economically we mint a lot of money from the projects that we have, and from actually a lot of resources that we have better than other countries, but because of the mismanagement and misappropriation of what we get, we find that we are losing out on our way, but we get there. So Esther, last time Here on the spheres of life, this is the scarred footprint, and we were having a story from you, how you were born, how you grew up, how you were brought up in different environmental or different and challenging places and positions in life. And this is where we see you are tonight. And I said sometimes people think that you've grown as this, or even sometimes you find life trying to squeeze, to overturn you, to break you down, but you still keep moving on. And now someone may think you've grown in a smooth and soft life, so you don't find challenges in your life. And remember the last time, to remind our audience of where we left last time, that it was a miraculous way that you found yourself in school without uniform. Borrowed uniform. No fees.
No fees,
but
no parent.
No parent. Miraculously, you were accepted, you were allowed to be in class. And the day ended, you got back to your parents. Now you tell us from there. After you came from school, you found your parents there. I think there were some questions. Who took you to school? Where do you get the uniform from? Who allowed you to be in school? So I think we left at that point, and we pray. We request that you pick us from there.
Thank you so much. As I said, we were born in a big family. So going back to school was like a privilege. It was a big issue. And as I said, my father decided that no education for girl child. And that is why all this happened, because my sisters used to give birth, the ones who are ahead of me. They just gave birth and bringing children in the house. So my father got discouraged and decided I'm not going to educate any girl child. Here I am. I took myself to Form 1. I've been accepted in class. In the evening, I've gone home. And mom is like, where were you throughout this day? I told her I've been in class, I've been in school. Who took you to school? And then it was like, you got someone better than us
as parents
to take you to school. You got some other parents who gave you the authority just to release yourself to such. I was like, Mom, I just want to go to school. And that is all. I just want to learn. I was like, now from today then, you should pack, go to them. Let them educate you. So it was such a distressful moment for me as a young girl. And that is where I usually tell young girls, you don't have to sell yourself. You don't have to put yourself in shit. You don't have to take yourself to a young man or a man just because of what you're passing through. I had the opportunity. It was so big and so open for me. I would have taken myself to any man as a young girl, and I say, now my home is it's unbearable. My parents have rejected me. I better stay with a man and become a wife at my young age. But that never came to my mind. My mind was, what was running in my mind is, I had my dream family. I had my dream children. I had my dream life. There is the life that I wanted to live. So that passion. And also, if I could say, if you add Christ into your passion, you can never go wrong. You can never go wrong. Most of the time, we are trying to push ourselves outside here with our own strength. And a man is built to be worn out. Is worn out by words from other men or the environment that you are in. That is going to tear you apart. But when you have Christ in you, it's going to renew your strength. So as a young girl, I had to face the challenge of rejection from my parents. I remember my mom telling me, I think it is your time to get out of my home and you go. I won't feel anything if you are absent from this family because I have so many others and also others are coming. Yes, so you get out and go. And at a point he told me, if you were a goat, kama wewe ungekuwa mbuzi, ningekupeleka soko. Ningekupeleka soko.
And what was the cause of this reaction?
School. Remember, I said in my part 1 that she had received a deposit of my house help.
Yeah.
My house help job. So she had already consumed somebody's fee.
Money. Yeah.
Yeah, so how that pain of returning somebody's money, and then you shall go. It was not very easy, and I was the main cause. So it was not very easy.
Yeah.
So Dad could tell Mom, leave her alone, let her do her things, so long as she's not involving us. So the following day, I'm here. The distance I'm going, it's around like 24 kilometers daily. That is where the school is. There are vehicles that pass where we, near our home. We used to pay 1 shilling. 1 shilling. That
But
was the fare.
it is not available then.
No, where could you get it? That made me to walk.
Yeah.
So I could leave home by 6. I make sure that I'm out. And I'll reach school when others are out of parade. So they understood. This girl goes home, operates from a very far distance, and even if she arrives late, they would understand.
You're allowed to do.
I interacted with so many girls, and others could tell me, no, now instead of you going that distance, I will request my mom, just you come, you stay with us at our home, and that is exactly what happened. One of them, in fact, I'm going for a Thanksgiving to that mama this October. This October, I'm going to say thank you to that mama. Because she was my friend, the girl. And then she went and requested the mother. There is a very nice girl in our class who operates from a very far distance, and she comes always late. And because she's good, Mom, why don't you allow her? We stay with her in our home. We be just going to school together. Imagine that lady accepted. That lady accepted. Then here I am, going to stay with people I don't know. They don't know my parents. It was just a miracle. They don't know my parents. They have accepted me. And this mama said, I will face whoever will come to ask for this girl.
Wow.
Back at home, Mom knows I've gotten married. So
You didn't break the news to them that you had found someone to live with.
Yes, of course. You see, this is now the 3rd day. The 3rd day, when I went home, I came back, I went and told Mom, I wish I get somewhere nearer to stay near the school.
Now,
so Mom was less concerned.
Okay, before we get to this lady or your friends who accommodated you then for maybe a period of time, I think there's this story of how you went to school without fees and what have you, and you got back to your parents the same day or evening. Then the story went on where you've been all through the day. So the ending there did not come to a completion. And again, before we get to where you accommodated, we have to know the issue of fees and how your parents, did they push you or did they accommodate you back after knowing that or realizing that you are in school without their efforts or energy?
Exactly. So it was when I came back from school the first day and portrayed the same to my mom. It was not easy. It was not easy. I remember that night I never ate because I was told I don't belong there.
You go eat from where you came
I should get back to where I came from. So where am I going?
And that is cool.
I told her, you know where Uncle teaches? That uncle of ours, that is the school I'm in. Of course, she knew the school. So I told her, Uncle said that I get to that school. So if you want to get the truth, get to where Uncle is. So, and Uncle was this kind of people who never minded about others. He was just another drunkard. So he used to drink a lot. And you see, drunkards are never incorporate themselves. By the time you need him, akokiroru kabisa. So Mom tried to follow it up. In fact, it is my dad who called my mom and said, leave her alone and we see the outcome of the thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So mom cooled down, but she was not happy about it. So I continued now going to school. My brother, my elder brother, who was a messenger in one of the schools, that was the one who was helping me with fare. I had another brother, elder brother, who had become makanga in one of those vehicles. So I could get free rides.
On the same route.
On the same route. Because I could not afford the fare. You give me 10 shillings, I'm done for the whole week. Because one way is 5 bob. So after I joined school, the same person who fought for my intake, that was the CU patron. I never knew him. He's a reverend, he's bishop now, Bishop Kilonzo. He's in Sultanahmood. I need to visit his church. He just got some time to talk to me one-on-one in school. And he asked me
now
about,
this is after how long?
This is after a week. That was the second week now. So he interviewed me, he talked to me, he tried to counsel me because I used to be so quiet, and I was like, all the problems and troubles and mixtures of everything bad was sent to me by God. So I was like, why this? And why am I, and how long will I get out of this? So that man did a lot to me. Thank God to these born again people who are in high school, born again teachers. They do a lot, and I congratulate them. That man did a lot to me. I opened up to him. And he decided now to follow up with the chief, because the chief in that area also was born again. So they linked up with the chief, and the chief was like, I know this girl. I know where she comes from. I'll follow up with the father. Remember, this time my dad had retired. So he was on his pension. And the chief was told by my father, if all these children are yours, okay, tell me to educate a girl child. I will not. So they decided, now what do we do? We cannot chase this girl. By all this time, I was number one when I was in Form 1. I had very nice Swahili. We used to do fasihi in Masahibu ya Ndugu Jeromo. That kitabu I could...
That's a bit long time.
I could chambua yote, and it got into me so well. So I was excellent in class. I did Form 1. I did Form 2. My uncle was transferred. Remember now, my elder brother, who is a makanga, and the one who is a messenger in a school, they were called and they were told, even if whatever little you can get, you could just bring. And you know the fee was, I think, 3,000 shillings
per term.
3,000 shillings per term. So my brother could bring 300, 500, and all that, but the fee is still piling. So Form 2, the headmaster was transferred. Where I was transferred
now
to another school. Now I've been left. So Form 2, second term, the new HM said there are people who are sitting in this class and they have a lot of fee balance. You need to go home. The other day I went in that area and I remembered that day I was chased from school. That very day.
And are you still living with the new mom, or you relocated back to your home?
Now when I'm chased, I'm supposed to go home. I'm supposed to go home now, because if I go to the new mom, that is just accommodation. I must go home. So where am I going? Where am I going?
The same place you
same place I left. And things are not very good. So when I went home, my mom, the first question was like, where's your sponsor? As your sponsor died. Why are you coming?
Ama the husband.
Where's your husband? Where's your new sponsor? Is he out of money? And that one is a young girl, my friend.
Ate you too much.
That ate me and tore me apart. I stayed at home. I became like a worker now at home. in Shampa, I could wake up early morning, make sure that the goats have gone out, make sure that the cattle have gone out, make sure that everything is done within home, a whole term. Whole second term.
Okay.
I'm home. And my mom is like, even the other ladies in the village, they are like, this girl, something happened. I thought she was married.
Yeah.
What is happening now? She's here. She was chased by the husband.
Yeah.
So mom was like,
So
these
like
children,
they were happy for the same.
they were happy for the same. They could just see me. I was so quiet. I could just go out. You could see me go out and back, out and back. So in third term, I sneaked to school, back to school.
You found the new headmaster now.
No, I'm not. I think they could not notice whether a whole term I've been out. So I went a third term from 2. So we stayed. You see, third term is usually very short.
Very short. Yes.
I went to school and we did the last exam, Form 2. So I was like, huh? So I was number 3, I think so. Number 3, I performed so well.
Teachers weren't concerned. This girl has not been.
Exactly. The very teachers were concerned. They were like, why should this girl be chased? Why should this girl? This is a class that is going to Form 3, and one of these girls is so good, yet she doesn't have school fees. She has a very big fee balance. The biggest fee balance is around 23,000 shillings. Then that was the biggest.
23,000.
And
that is very close to 2 years without paying fees.
Exactly. I'm telling you, a term is 3,000 shillings.
That's very close
so
to 2
that
years.
is close to 2 years. I've not paid. No, it is very little that is being paid. So I did my Form 2 exam. I was number 3. I went home. Then Form 3, I waited for them to open. They opened. Then the third week, I sneaked back to school. No fees, nothing. I'm not in the register. I'm not in the register now. They have already registered. Do you know I did a whole year? I did a whole year in class. Nobody knows whether I'm there.
The teachers weren't reporting to maybe the headmaster.
How would they report? They report.
There is a class prefect, class monitor in the same class.
And then the register those days, you remember, we were called number 1 present, number 2 present, number 3 present. So I cannot say present, and I'm not in the register. So from the accounts department, I'm not in the list of those who are getting chased away. So students could be chased away, and I'm left with the wale wasongo. Masonko. A whole year.
That is from 3 now.
Now the battle was home. My mom was like, the time has come for me to come and see your sponsor, and I will bring myself to school. I'm coming to that school to see your sponsor. Who is my sponsor? At that moment, who is my sponsor?
No one.
No one. So when she comes, she would destroy everything. I would be noticed.
That you've been in class, you're not in the register, you've not been paying fees.
The truth will be known. You see this miracle? So the miracle will just be.
But now, it's a miracle from your side, but we have to be concerned academically because you are not in the register. So how do you take your exams?
I do take my exams. I do take my notes.
And your results are still out.
These results are out. Yes.
Okay, now that's a miracle.
It was a real miracle. Look here now. So we did first term. My mom in the second term, she told me, now I'm coming to school.
Second term of Form 4?
Second term of Form 3. I'm talking of Form 3. Let me tell you, I could just cry and fall down. If she tells me she's coming to school, I would cry, kneel down, bow, plead with her, never to come to school. Mommy, don't come. Then she's like, tell me the truth.
But any situation, were you compelled to give up the story, what has been happening in your Form 3 class? The time that you had not paid your fees and you still did your exams.
Give it to who?
To your mom. Now,
Yes.
in the process of pleading,
Yes.
I think you have to give reasons as to why she's not supposed to come to school.
Yes, I tell her, Mom, don't come. They will notice that I'm in class. They will chase me away. Then Mom is like,
Mama hataona uko
how
mkora.
come you are in class?
Mama atajiuliza kwa nini uko mkora hivi?
Of course. Si hapo nilikuwa mkora kabisa. Hapo niko mkora because who is paying?
Yeah.
Who is paying?
None.
Has it ever happened? It has never.
No.
So somebody should be doing it, and I would like to come and talk to the headmaster now. Not even a teacher. I would like to see the headmaster and know who is paying your fees. I tell Mommy, nobody, just don't come. They will notice I'm in class and they know I'm not in class.
Yeah.
So according to them, I was not in class, but physically, I'm in class.
How many were you in your class?
We were around 54. 54. Yes, one class. It was only one stream. Because remember, this was a day school.
Yeah.
So we continued third term.
Maybe just a question, Esther.
Yes.
This time that you're pleading with your mom,
Yes.
what happened to the parent who accommodated you? You left the place, you came back to your home?
You see, I was pleading with Mom when I come home.
Yeah.
I had not
For
left
fees.
this. Yes. We have closed.
Yeah.
We have closed. I could not go. Remember, my fees is fully paid.
Yeah.
Here, my fees is fully paid. So I could plead with Mom when we close or we go for any break.
Yeah.
Or weekends. Most of the weekends I was home.
Yeah.
Weekdays when I could spend to this Mama's place. So when I go home during the weekends, Mom could tell me on Monday, I'm there. Tell me, who pays your fees?
The mother who accommodated you, did she know you were in school and you haven't paid fees? Ama to her, the fees was paid, she was only accommodating you?
Yes, the mother knew the fees for this girl is fully paid. I could not tell it to anybody. I thought I would tell it out and then they would notice. So I could not share this story with anybody. So it was a crime for me, for my mom just to speak about it.
Yeah.
Because it was, for me, it was a pure miracle.
Yeah.
First term, second term, third term comes. So the new HM, in fact, part of third term, he was totally sick and he was admitted in hospital. Third term of Form 3. So when he came towards the end, he wanted to see the class that is going to Form 4. Then who is number 1? Esther.
Esther.
And it was like, you mean this girl has been in class? So he came to class, laughing. He liked laughing so much. He just entered in when the teacher was there. And he laughed so much and he was like, teacher, there are people here who have kamote and they learn using kamotes. You mean people can bewitch us? And you don't notice they are here? Who is Esther? Ndinda. Said, I'm the one. He just, come here. Your enchantment, your witchcraft has ended now. I have noticed you are here. You have been bewitching us to be in class. Then I was called to the office. And then from there I was told the bell rang. Then tukapelekwa parade. Tukaambiwa, if you are behaving like this one, the headmaster announced in parade. That time, I'm telling you, I was crying. I could not stand in there. I was asking God, why did you allow it? Why did you allow this to happen? Why am I noticed? I wish I never came number 1 for me to stay unnoticed. Because if you are behind here or if you are in middle here, you could not be noticed. But who is God? The bell rang, then a headmaster spilled the beads. And he mentioned me. And he showed me the gate. And told me, away you go.
He didn't even consider that you were a good student.
Yeah.
Nothing.
From the results that she...
Nothing.
Yeah.
He was bitter because I was using witchcraft. I was bewitching them for them not to notice that I'm here. So I was tested. I'm telling you, the way I cried, I don't know how I reached home. Then immediately after reaching home.
Okay, let me check something here.
Yes, sorry.
We are having a short break. We're coming back.
In a moment. Thank you.
You are watching EBN TV, transforming your world.
Welcome back to EBN TV, the Spheres of Life. This is the Scarred Footprint, part of Esther Ndinda. But before we get deeper into the story, we are reading some of your comments that you sent into our social media platforms.
Yeah, there are some few comments here. There's Dina Mwania saying, good evening, following the show from Buruburu. Then Dina Mwania again saying, thank you, Queen Esther, for sharing your story. There's Alex Obora saying, following closely, hashtag Spheres of Life. There's Mika saying, watching. Elizabeth Kathike saying, following. There's Ken Olasaina tuned in. What a great story. Mtumishi umetoka mbali enyewe. Anyways, congratulations for being a strong girl. There's Ndanu Felista saying, tuned in, very interesting story. There's Jemima Kamoto saying, following. Arthur Miracle saying, tuned in from Makadara, liking the show. There's Lebs Kaka saying, following. And then David Njue saying, great conversation you're having there, Team Spheres of Life.
Okay, thank you for your sentiments. And if you have a question to Esther Ndinda as far as she navigated and moved through her life in those challenging situations at the moment, please send that question and concern to our social media platform. So welcome back, Esther, to EBN TV. And remember, now we are on the point that you are now noticed that there are some things that you've been using.
Yes.
Maybe witchcraft or
Yes.
mighty powers that you've been using.
Exactly.
Now, how did you navigate through?
To them, it was witchcraft. To them, it was kamote. It was enchantments. But to me, it was a miracle. So I was chased away just in the name of witchcraft.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, you mean this girl?
Na amekuwa deskmate wangu.
Amekuwa deskmate wangu, amekuwa CU, amekuwa wapi? You mean amekuwa kinyamaza hapo na mambo yake tu? So some students were like, no, this one, this one,
We are not associating with
we are not associating ourselves with her again. This is a young girl. 17, 16,
Yeah.
16, 17 there. With an opportunity as big as the whole world, just to get somebody on the way and get into that home and continue with life. Send yourself to drinking, send yourself to marijuana and any kind of life, and nobody bothers anyway.
Yeah.
No, my mom was okay with that. But you see, I want to challenge young girls here. You usually come and say, it is because of this challenging time, it is because of this that is making me just to go on drinking. I'm telling you, chill bwana. Chill, kuna kitu. Hiyo si opportunity. Ati mama alinitetesha kidogo kwa nyumba. Just once. Sisi tulikuwa rejected. Life. Tulikuwa rejected and we stayed. And we stayed and we pressed on. I think God was cultivating something within me. And if you love yourself, kindly cultivate that which God has put in you. Let not any opportunity or any discouragement on the way. Because if it were for discouragement from my own parents, I would have just given in to anything. So I'm chased away from school just because of witchcraft, in the name of witchcraft. So the gifts, those days we used to be given books za kusoma ama kalamu za kuandikia. I could not pick them at the end because I think I was chased on a Tuesday and we were closing on a Friday for the whole year now. So I went home. I think that was the lowest moment in my life because I could cry until I missed the road. And imagine I am to walk from school to home now.
24 kilometers.
I have told this girl now, I'll have to go home because of you have heard what has happened. I told her, just collect my books, just keep them. If any gift comes, collect it, keep it for me. And that is what she did.
Did they even give her?
Yes, they gave her. There was no problem, they gave her. So this teacher, who was a CU teacher, that day he was not there. He was not in school. So when he came, I think he overheard of the story and all that. And when we were closing, schools closed. And you see, these are teachers from very distant places. So I went home and I was like, you mean unaachia form 3? Sponye ameenda wapi? That's your mother. Sponsor ameenda wapi? Ama maybe you could be expectant. Ama project may change, maybe. What is it? I was like, okay. You don't know. I used just to be quiet. You know what it means to be quiet? And I could do a lot of things at home. I could sweep. I could tend the cows and the goats and everything. I could cook. But, and I could just get the best moments I had. There are those moments of crying, not even praying. Crying. Because I wondered where God is in my life. I was focused, I wanted to go this way, but I'm being pushed the other way. So come December is gone, then January. Then January, miraculously, I was sent for. A friend of mine was sent to come and call me from home. What has happened? I was told the BOM of the school was presented with the current Form 4 class. And this teacher, who was the CU patron, was the secretary to the BOM. So he said, number 1 and number 3 are having fees challenges. And now the school is being made a boarding school. So these children have a fees problem and they are home as we talk. Even number 1 went home before we closed.
Okay, I think I'm directed that our time is going down, and because your story is a bit interesting and trying to uplift someone outside there, I think we are giving you the third show, one so that you can finish your story. It can't end now because actually that is the end of a matter is so much important than how it is started.
Exactly.
So we find it so important for you to finish the story and it don't end there. Then on this note, I'd like that you say your final word, and mostly to young girls out there. And your final word, say hi to 3 people, then we call it a show. Then we assure our audience that your story, because now that is the most interesting part. How do you see it, Caroline?
Yeah, it's a good story. It's a very informative and uplifting story for someone to listen to. So it won't be fair if we don't let her finish.
Okay, we are doing so. So we're doing a favor for you. So let's just have your final word for young girls and your final say. Then 3 people.
Yes, I would like to encourage the young girls and challenge them at the same time. There are small issues that are making you to sell yourself out there just because you feel that you are totally challenged. I'm telling you, whatever you are facing is just a drop in the sea. People have seen it all. Kindly, just because of a broken relationship, but just somebody told you that it's over, just you have been retrenched from a job, just because your sister has chased you out. I have stories of being chased out of my house in this Nairobi. That should not make you not love yourself. Love yourself. Be focused, work for it. Look unto Christ, the author and the finisher of life. Is going to encourage you and show you the right path to follow. Young girls, don't die just because of a relationship. God has ordained great things for you. Be focused and work for it. I would like to say hi to my husband, lovely husband, Charlie, as I usually tell you, niko na wewe mpaka baadaye. You are my choice from the beginning, and I will work with you forever. My young girl daughter, Stephanie, hi, and my son, who is in high school in Dalani High, and the Dalani fraternity. I would like to say hi, and also thank God for the church, where Fellowship Deliverance Church is Lee, and the Senior Pastor, Reverend Chelule, and Mom, I salute you for making me who I am today. Thank you so much.
And it indeed has been a great show here at Spheres of Life. Thank you for keeping us company till this time. And just in case this story got you at part 2, you can get our part 1 on Spheres of Life at Scarred Footprint, on our social media platforms. That's on YouTube, The Legend Productions, and on Facebook and Instagram, Jeff SOMBA The Legend. Not forgetting the amazing media crew who has helped this show to become a very big success for tonight. So Jeff, as we give Esther another show next time, we hope that you tune in and listen to the show. And as I'll always say, stay tuned to stay informed, because until you're encouraged on something, you may be suffering from something and yet you don't want to speak out unless you're being encouraged with such stories from Esther. You won't get anywhere. So thank you so much, Esther, for we are grateful for having you today and for next time. But to our viewers, thank you and see you next time. Have a good evening. I've been your host, Caroline MUTHONI.
Great. It has been a privilege and honor to have Esther Ndinda on the Spheres of Life EBN tonight. The topic has been the Scarred Footprint, part 2 of the same. We do this because we are our own. And I've been your host, Jeff Kimayu. Until next time, goodbye and good night.
Thank you.